What is up, everybody? Eagles down 19-17 here at the half, talking reaction, takeaways, and more. Joining us, he is Shane at Shane Happ NFL. What's up, Shane?
What's up, Deibs? I'm having some major flashbacks to watching a Super Bowl played on an ice skating rink. How about you?
Dude, can we talk big picture? Number one, the conditions of the field are atrocious, worse than the Super Bowl. No one can make tackles. It's unbelievable how this is a week one field and they were less prepared than the Eagles were, at least the offense on those first two series. Number two big take on this one is the flags. I feel like it's almost 10 o'clock and we just got done a half. I feel like there's been a flag thrown almost every single play.
10 accepted penalties in the first half is, I don't know. I mean, people that watched the Ravens-Chiefs game last night, it was the same thing. Which it hasn't been the same issue from last night, but I hate the point of emphasis that we're going to flag all the time that nobody ever hears about after week 3. It's like the officials have been waiting all season to talk into microphones and they're making sure they get their opportunities. But I feel like I have this frustration week one every year. Tons of penalties. Obviously the field is not a normal issue. It's sloppy football. And yet the Eagles are down by 2 at halftime, and it should be a lot worse than that if we're being honest.
Yeah, you look at the first quarter, the time of possession, the Packers had the ball for 9 minutes and 45 seconds. The Eagles 5 minutes. Again, 6 total penalties for 52 yards combined in the first quarter. Eagles started to get the rhythm in the second quarter. We're going to get into it. Guys, if you're watching us live, please be sure to comment, like this video. Join us for post-game as we go live when the clock hits 0. Down says, I don't know what the defense is doing in the open field, but let's clean it up. I don't really have that many complaints about the defense. We'll get to that in a little bit. Barkley did leave the field hurt. Looks like he hurt his arm or something along those lines in the second quarter. What's the point of training for Dotson, not even throwing it to him? We'll get into Kellen Moore impressions soon. The NFL should be embarrassed by the conditions of the field. Letting teams play there is ridiculous. You have billion-dollar franchises playing on this level of field. It's just a disgrace. Philly's up 15-1. The NFL gets an F for the field. Let's jump into Jalen Hurts, guys. Keep the comments coming. 14 of 22, 154 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. He did have a bad sack there at the end of the second quarter. He also had a fumble. What's your quick assessment on Jalen Hurts?
Well, the fumble is not him. That's Cam Jurgens, who I'm very worried about so far. That's not true. I wouldn't say I'm worried about Cam Jurgens, but Cam Jurgens has been bad so far. The most important thing for me with Jalen Hurts is against the blitz. He's 4 of 4 for 64 yards and a touchdown.
Nice.
And the one where he threw the out route to AJ Brown,
that was nice.
He adjusted the protection on that play. Not the way I would have done it, because he had the free runner hitting him in the back, and that's generally not the way that you want to do it. But he set that protection, hit the out route at the sticks, and AJ Brown got the first down. So I like what I've seen against the blitz. I don't love that he's getting out of the pocket as much as he is. A couple boneheaded plays, that interception, that's just an awful decision. Taking the sack there at the end of the first half when he's out of the pocket, just flip that ball away, save the yardage and the timeout. But overall, Hurts, I think, has been fine, especially considering having not played in the preseason. Hopefully we see him play, real sharp in the second half.
iTexan says Hurts needs to trust the pocket more. I don't think he's going through his progressions that well. It looks like it's the first game of the season. That's it's blatantly clear. One side of this team played in the preseason. The other side really didn't. And I feel like it's translated here against the Packers. Lucky to be where we are. I can't believe that last game overrun. Look at that. Look at Kenny Gainwell making a couple guys miss on that first down screen. Jordan Davis looks rock solid. Let's get into Kellen Moore. And I thought, there's some bonehead plays. I wasn't a big fan of that quarterback design run on the 3rd and long, but outside of that, there have been some really impressive play designs by Kellen Moore. The one where I think they had I think it was Will Shipley in motion and fake pass, and Jalen Hurts found Devontae Smith wide open for a nice gain. Quick impressions on Kellen Moore.
Yeah, he's had some nice designs. The one you mentioned, Shipley was on orbit motion, and they ran off the safety with A.J. Brown and hit Devontae up the sideline. The touchdown to Saquon was really nice. Typically, if you're going to have a running back run a wheel route, it's going to be to the side that he starts on. But he was on Jalen Hurts' right, and he ran the wheel route out to the left after a play fake. And A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith both ran post routes that pulled the safeties, and it got him one-on-one with a linebacker. I thought that was really good. Designed by Kellen Moore. I've liked what I've seen so far from him. Just the offense has been a little sloppy in execution, but the design's been on point.
And Saquon Barkley, 9 carries for 31 yards and a touchdown. I'm getting like weird vibes of, I don't want to say it, but I'm going to, the LaShawn McCoy snow game where he just went nuts in the second half. Nobody can tackle. The field is god awful. That's the kind of vibes I'm getting with this one, Shane. But what's your quick impressions on Saquon?
Yeah, Saquon looked really good. The cut that he made on the touchdown run, it was really, it looked really explosive. It looked more impressive, I think, in real time than it did when they showed the replay from the back view. But it looked like he just planted and was gone. That catch he made in the end zone, I mean, that's not like an exceptional catch if you're talking about a receiver, but that's an impressive catch for a running back. And I've liked what I've seen from him. Hopefully we see him in the second half. Hopefully the injury is not a big deal.
Yeah. Guys, again, we will be going live during postgame, doing a much more in-depth take on this game, but we're already 7 minutes into this thing with the second half probably starting momentarily. Let's get into the defense. I thought Zach Bond and his run defense has been very solid. CJ Gardner-Johnson has looked silly on 2 different occasions. The one probably should have been a touchdown, but luckily Christian Watson slipped and it was not. But what's your take on this defense? I thought Quinyon Mitchell also had some flashes.
Yeah, there's a lot of missed tackles. I'm not really going to judge missed tackles because, again, they're playing on a slip and slide. But I expected to see coverage busts in the Fangio scheme, and we've seen it. It's going to be a learning process. I thought that the commentators pointed out that Chauncey Gardner-Johnson let that crossing route get behind him. I actually thought that was on Slay, but again, I'm totally guessing. It looked to me like it was cover 3, and Slay didn't gain depth. But overall, Nakobe Dean almost has a pick 6. That would have been a huge swing in the game. No. He's got to pull that one in, but he's looked so good in run defense. I've been impressed with Nakobe Dean for sure.
Oh, that 14-point swing where Nakobe Dean dropped that pick 6, man. That was a huge momentum shift. Let's get into our segment here, our halftime adjustments for the second half. All right, Shane, what do the Eagles need to do better in the second half?
They just have to clean up the offensive execution. I mean, you turn it over on the first 2 drives. There's definitely some miscommunications between Hurts and Juergens. The snap that was a fumble, Hurts wasn't ready for. The false start on Goddard and Hurts both thought that ball was getting snapped. So they got to clean up that stuff. The Packers are too good of a team to get away with that many mistakes. I would say so far the defense has bailed you out on that to the best of their ability. Offense really needs to clean things up, and I think they'll be fine. Like, the offense has looked good when it hasn't been for those things.
I've been pleasantly surprised by the Eagles' defensive line. I thought they've had some solid moments in this one. Jordan Davis has been everywhere. Zach Bond. There's been some solid moments by this Eagles defense, but you're right. It's all on the offense to put some points on the board, control time of possession, cement themselves, pushing the line of scrimmage and get Saquon Barkley going for some big gains here in the second half. Shane, final thoughts, plugs, wrap it up.
I just want to say that I don't understand all the offensive players are changing their shoes after the first drive. Like, you warmed up on this field. I don't understand how you didn't figure out which cleats were going to be the best there at that point, but I digress. I don't get that. Dude, I legitimately don't.
The field looks like it's progressively getting worse.
Yeah, it's for nuts. Sure.
Anyway.
So, but yeah, I mean, I'm tweeting the game, live tweeting on Twitter as best I can because Peacock's garbage and it keeps buffering for me and I miss every other play. But we'll be live on post game right after the game. So head over to @EaglesPinPull on Twitter. After the game, drop your 3-word reactions and join us for the post game show. It'll be fun. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully this game ends before 1 a.m. We'll see. I love this comment. Quinyon is anti. I didn't realize that the amount of trash talking from Quinyon Mitchell. I love it, man. I love it, man. But guys, we'll see you around the bend here when the clock hits 0. We'll do post game live, doing a much deeper analysis of each side of the ball, player of the game, all that and more, guys. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll catch you in a couple hours. For Shane @ShaneHalfNFL, I am Deibs, Mr. Crockpot. Stay awesome.